Colcannon. That's what we're going to make for dinner tonight. It's a comfort food, a nice Irish recipe. It involves Irish butter, some Irish cheddar that's made with Irish whiskey, some cabbage, some potatoes, and that's one part of this meal. The other part of the meal is some pork chops, and I'm going to make them both in the pressure cooker, the Elite 10-quart pressure cooker, and make a 1-pot meal out of this. It's going to be wonderful. First thing that I'm going to do is brown the meat. So I'm going to set the pressure cooker in the browning mode. On this Elite pressure cooker, you use the fish setting to brown the meat. I'm going to use this Kerrygold butter. It's imported from Ireland. And the reason this is so special is it comes from cows that graze in green pastures that get the Gulf Stream airflow, and it's the most lush grass that cows can eat in the world. And the creamery uses makes the butter from their milk. Now I'm going to add this Kerrygold butter to the pressure cooker in the browning mode. Now you can see the butter's bubbling and ready to put the pork chops in. I'm just going to add the pork chops to get them a little bit browned. These are slightly frozen yet, and that's no worry because the pressure cooker will handle that. They're thawing out, so they have a good start. But I just want to get a browned edge on these because we're going to put them in a little pan above the potatoes to let them cook. Alright, I cut 2 pieces off of this 5-pound cabbage, so I just have enough to make just probably about 8 or 10 ounces of cabbage. I'm going to just cut this into small slices because it'll start to fall apart as we cook it. So just want to prepare this because as soon as I take the pork chops out of that nice Kerrygold butter, I'm going to throw the cabbage in and brown that too. So just a quick cut of the cabbage just to get ready. That way the pressure cooker stays nice and warm. Something like that. Alright, take a peek in the pressure cooker here. Does that look beautiful? Nice brown butter, and the pork chops are getting a brown edge. This is the point where I'm going to take them right out of there and put them in a little foil pan. This is going to be the basket that they sit in while they cook in top of the pressure cooker. While the butter's sizzling, I'm going to put the cabbage right in there. Let that take advantage of the nice warm and browned butter. And get that to get a nice brown edge on it as well. We'll let that go a couple minutes. Using some nice red potatoes, I'm just going to cut these into quarters. I'm leaving the skins on because that's part of the charm of this dish, is the nice red skins that get mixed in with the cabbage. And just putting this in quarters because it'll be easier to mash up in the pot with just without getting the mixer out and all that stuff at the end. Take a peek in this pressure cooker again and you can see how nice and brown the cabbage is getting. It's not cooked all the way through, but it's got the nice brown edges. And I'm going to take advantage of that nice hot pot and throw in the quarters of potatoes. Now I'm going to add a cup of milk in here. This will settle down the sizzling. I'm just going to stir this around. I only added 1 cup of liquid because I learned that some of my other pressure cooker friends gave me some tips. Now that's sizzling. I'm going to take the pork chops and put them in on top of that. I'm going to add 3 more little bits of the Kerrygold butter because it really does a nice job on this kind of recipe. We're going to set the pressure on high for 12 minutes. Okay, we're going to add the lid, set it into pressure mode. and wait for it to come up to pressure and cook for 12 minutes. I'm going to get the cheese ready while the potatoes are cooking. This is aged cheddar, and it's made with Irish whiskey. Take the wax off of there. I'm just going to make some thin slices because we're going to throw this into the potatoes that are already mashed at the end. Nice and creamy.
So it's done. Cut the big.
Cooking's done. I'm going to let the pressure escape for a couple minutes here and turn the fan on, and I'll be back. And we're going to open the pressure cooker. All of the pressure is released. See, there's nothing else coming out as far as steam. Alright, let's take a look in there. Now the butter has melted around the pork chops and also some additional steam. So we're going to take them out and put them on a plate first. Also, we got some liquid from the pork chops here. Doesn't that look nice? I'm going to see if I can get this out and pour it over the pork chops. Carefully. And keep them warm while I get the potatoes in. Now, take a look at the potatoes. They are gorgeous. They have the cabbage mixed in with the butter. And don't be alarmed if you see a little charred cabbage from the bottom, because that's just part of the flavor. Look at this. All I want to do here is just keep smashing them down so they're kind of chunky mashed potatoes. I don't want to put them in the mixer or anything because the cabbage is intertwined and the red skins are intertwined, and it makes a very nice texture. Now, while this is so nice and hot, I'm going to add the aged cheddar cheese and let that melt as I stir through the skins. And of course, I saved a couple little tidbits of Kerrygold butter. Okay, I'm going to work on just smashing these a little bit more. Now, the cheese is nice and a little bit gooey in there. I'm going to serve this up on a plate, and this is going to be a nice Sunday dinner with the pork chops. All made in one pot. And look how quick we got this to the table.
There it is. My Irish Sunday dinner. These look pretty good. Cheesy. I get to sample it, see? Pork chop. I'll taste it for you. Pretty good. Ooh. I should let it cool a little bit, but it's good. Tastes buttery and cheesy. Different. I'm gonna let it cool a little more. Have another piece of meat. That's really tender. That's a good idea, cooking it all together like that. Alright. Stop back soon. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this.